Hello and welcome to another video. So as promised, I'm about to do my art room tour, so welcome to my new studio. Here is an overview of the room. I am in the attic of my rented house, so quite a large space, which I'm quite happy with. We'll start off on the walls over here. I have, my mum's actually moving very soon and she wanted to get rid of some of her artwork that she's done, so it's a bit of an abstract piece there that's over the stairs leading down to the bedroom areas, which is a nice place to put that. I think it's quite a nice open wall. Then on the left here we have some more art. This is also done by my mum there. This is a print of a Merlin, and this is done by a family friend here, so quite a lot of art on here. I'm planning to fill the walls a little bit more. So next to the stairs area we have this over here, which is kind of the main area with all my art supplies in. This is my birds. I framed this up for my mum for her birthday, I think it was. I've just taken it back to scan the artwork in for an upcoming announcement video, which you will see very shortly, hopefully after this one. So over here, when I moved in here, it was unfurnished. I didn't have any furniture to my name whatsoever, so I had to do a big shop at IKEA. Actually no, I tell a lie, the only furniture I had was this desk, but everything else is brand new. So IKEA was quite handy for that, and I didn't go expensive because I didn't have much money, and so that's where I got these two £15 shelves from, veneer wood. Not the most pretty things, but you know, not too bad. But anyway, we'll go from the top. Up here has my acrylic paints in here, a lot of things. I'll do a video, well actually comment whether you want me to do a video with what paints are in here and how I've put this in, blah blah blah. There's obviously one of the doll things. My mum made me a little egg cozy, which I thought looked like a beanie, so I put it on him. Anyway, on here, this is a part of my beading collection. So in here are all my glass beads, all colour coded because I'm a bit obsessed with everything being colour coordinated. So those, obviously the coloured box corresponds to the coloured bead inside. So we have small glass beads there, lampwork, and larger ones here. We've got some Japanese Miyuki and Delica beads hanging off this here. Because this was kind of a cheap shelving unit, I didn't mind nailing into the sides of it, etc. Here is some ring sizes. My Lego Wall-E, because my most favourite film ever, and he's the cutest little thing. Also some dragons I made out of beads. This probably won't focus because I have it on a different setting. But yeah, some beaded dragons there, and they're quite intricately made. On the shelf down we have all of my alcohol markers. So we have my pro markers in colour order in these 3 pouches, absolutely full. And then I've got more, we've got more pro markers here, we've got some Copics here, and some other things. Actually I tell a lie, I do have some more alcohol markers in a drawer elsewhere. This is my Lego Louvre, because I've been to see the Louvre a few times in France, in Paris, and yeah. And then down here is just a mix of all sorts really. So I've got some art books here, some how-to books, the rest is kind of sketchbooks mainly, a little ship from Sweden when I went to the Vasa Museum. This is from Copenhagen, a little Lego dinosaur. Down here is a hell of a lot more sketchbooks here, some comics, Walking Dead comics, and then some bead mags here because I love beading. Okay, onto the desk here. So on top, sorry about the shadows, and hello, there's a big mirror on the wall here. This was here when I first moved in, so hello. Here it's just some desk stuff, pens, all my paintbrushes kind of stocked there. This is something I decoupaged. It has kind of like my more recent pens in there, so stuff I've got from scroller boxes and things like that. I like to keep them handy so I can use them a few times. Some clay tools there. Just some oil painting I was working on. Underneath, sorry it's a bit dark here, just some supplies there like pastels, some pencils and some barrel felt tips, some small canvases here, my cheap art supplies, and in there's some buttons. In here is like a miscellaneous kind of box. Hello Freddy, this is my cat. How do you even say that word? Miscellaneous box of kind of clay stuff. I'll show you what I make with my clay in a moment. Up here is you can't see it very well, some clay stuff, a bead loom, some pots for the things I make things out of for clay. This top drawer has, I'm not going to pull that out too much, it always falls out. This top drawer has beading supplies like my pliers and some clay supplies in here. So this is what I kind of make, is little mushroom houses, and then I'll show you what I make out of the mushroom houses. So that's just clay stuff in there. Second drawer, this has inks for my printer, more paintbrushes and some big tubes of paint. The bottom drawer is literally just loads of wires from everything. It also has a soldering iron in there and a glue gun, so a bit of a eclectic mix in there. So in these drawers, I'm going to get out of the shadow. I'm going to stop being the shadow. This top drawer I call my stationery drawer. It's literally full of pens, some jelly rolls, Uni Posca. It's full of, I would say, stationery items like sellotape, staplers, glue, dog clips, bulldog clips, etc. Just kind of more stationery stuff. This second drawer, this is my favourite drawer. I like how it's laid out. This has more Copic markers in this big blue thing. This is pencil crayons, lots of different ones. And then the rest is watercolours all on this side. So this is just a mix of watercolours. And then here is a mix of FW acrylic inks and Liquitex acrylic inks. So just a mix of supplies. And then this bottom drawer is kind of more beading and crafty type stuff like stamping, etc. Canvas roll, yoga mat, as you do. Okay, so I've got another one of these shelving units. On top, this is the sort of stuff I make, these little fairy gardens here. That's a particular favourite, and I do sell these. I did have them in a shop in Huddersfield, but that shop recently closed, so I had to bring everything back. That is a Lego Eiffel Tower. These are some of the little beaded spiders I make. People find them creepy and some people find them cute. Yeah, anyway. This next shelf, this has some other stuff I make out of beads. So these are gemstone trees. I've sold quite a few of these, but yeah, just gemstone trees on kind of stones and things. That's my cup I did a video on. So here, this is a few newer stuff. So this is a sketchbook I recently got for Christmas. A very nice one from Paper Chase. Haven't done anything in it because I'm waiting to kind of do something special in there. These are some oil paints I literally bought a couple of days ago when I was in Manchester, and yeah, there'll probably be a video coming up with me doing something. That's my glass dip pen. On the level below, this is the gesso and the glue that I got in my Carolyn Wilcox haul. Some frames on there because I bead on those, and then this actually had all of my beads in during my time at uni, but I recently brought all my old storage from home since I moved into a house and put those up on the wall, so all my beads could kind of come out of this. But I've still got all my findings in these drawers, kind of beads that I've colour coordinated in storage boxes. As you can see, all my gemstones, colour coordinated beads like red, orange, blues, brownies sort of things. Yeah, so that's kind of, it's filled with beads, but you'll see that I have actually a hell of a lot more beads than that. The one below, again, some more stuff from Callan Wilcox, like my pigment markers, my Winsor & Newton inks. There is a Fallout pop doll, a metal, what's it called? Tower bridge, that's it. Metal tower bridge. If you're wondering why I have a lot of the architecture sort of stuff, it's because I did civil engineering at uni, so I'm a bit into that sort of thing. And I love the architecture and design. Just some Gorilla Glue for my stuff. Down here is more beads. So this has paper in at the bottom here. This has all my kind of very special beads, like my Miyuki beads and duo beads, etc. This also has beads in colour coordinated. As you can see, I was kind of more of a beader than a painter a while ago. And then over here there's a little craft lamp back there. Yes, that is a Santa hat, but I like it. And then my easel stands there because I'm trying to prompt myself to do a painting on that canvas, but it's not happening just yet. As I was saying about bead storage, this is what I brought from home and that I could finally put up in my own house. So this is, again, colour coordinated, but this is just full of seed beads. Focus. This is full of seed beads, and then this has all my threads and wires in it. It used to be a spice rack, I believe. So yeah, that's all of that. That's obviously a desk easel. This is something I made for my stalls to hang things off. So it's got one of those IKEA stand, what do you call them? Rods things? I don't know what you call them. It's got one of those IKEA things on. And then I put some wood at the back and just attached a hinge to create legs. And that's that basically. So I'm gonna hang things off that once I've made some stuff. Over here is my keyboard, so I like to play the piano, etc. Up there is some more art that my mum did. Down here I call this a bit of my junk junk corner. It's not really junk, it's just storage really. Down there has the boxes for all my Lego, and also has actual Lego in it that I've taken apart from other things. It's got, you know, storage boxes for my Yetee microphone. It's got my tripod, some camping gear, my craft mat, drawing desk thing, just some bags, and then obviously my folder with all my artwork, and my portfolios back there as well. So moving on to the centre of the room. Actually no, we'll go over to that corner and then do the centre of the room last. So there's my cat's cat tree covered in catnip. There's a telescope back there because I am under an attic window, so it made sense to bring that. That's something I had from when I was younger. This is very dark under here, I do apologise. There are some more of my little fairy gardens. There's also an Isle of Berk from How to Train Your Dragon under there. You can't really see it in this light, but hey ho. So this is this table I usually use for my stalls to sell all my beading stuff, but obviously I've set it up in here as a temporary workstation. Brought my mum's sewing kit, have another chair, and under there are some very old art supplies that I brought from home because obviously my mum's moving, so she didn't want to take everything with her. But it's got like paints, buttons and fabric mainly in that bottom one, and then I'm gonna obviously do my little sewing station here. That's to do with a video that's up and coming very soon. Some felting that I'm doing, and then onto the middle of the room. So if you're wondering why there's a desk just randomly in the middle of the room, it just made sense to have it with natural light coming in from there, as well as my kind of like my ring light, etc. And it actually looks quite nice. And surprisingly, in such a big room, there's only 2 plug sockets, one behind that shelving unit, which is kind of annoying, and one just there. So it made sense. I can't obviously push the desks right up into there, otherwise I'm not going to be able to fit anything under there on top of the desks, and I won't be able to sit under there without banging my head. So this is the next place. My brother recently gave me his old computer that he doesn't use any longer, so I now don't use my laptop as much. Sorry about that, my camera overheated. So as I was saying, my brother doesn't use that computer anymore, so I don't use my laptop, and I now have a standalone computer with a TV screen, and that's why it's quite large. So I now use that. It's a bit faster and, you know, just a bit better than my laptop was. Hopefully I'll be able to stream again, which will be handy. I have my old printer under there, which I recently discovered is actually quite good at scanning, well, to the standard I can afford at the moment anyway. And I have a nice swivel chair, and if I sit here, this is how I sit. I'm very close to the ceiling. I have banged my head a few times, so it's not too bad. And then I have my ring light just over my work there, computer set up there, so it's quite nice to, you know, just sit at this desk and get on with work really, and I have everything in front of me to inspire me, and I only have to go around the desk very quickly just to pick things up, and it's just a nice setup really. So that's the end of this art room tour. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up and a comment of what you're kind of looking for in an art room, whether you have an art room, and if you do, please tag me in a photo on social media. I'd love to see it. Oh, Freddie just fell off his cat tree. That's a nice ending to this video, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.